Ellen. Today I'm going to be doing my July wrap-up. I actually got through 4 books this month, but still pretty good. One of them was really long, and I still feel pretty good about what I read, and I'll just jump right in. The first book that I finished is called Memoirs of an Imaginary Friend by Matthew Dix, who also writes under the name Matthew Green, I believe. And this book was absolutely adorable. Oh, it was just so sweet, and oh my god, I loved it so much. So this one is told from the perspective of the imaginary friend of this boy who has probably autism. It's not really stated specifically what this boy is dealing with, but he is a little bit different from the other kids, and so it's told from the perspective of the imaginary friend, and things happen in the boy's life who's has the imaginary friend, and then Budo, who's the imaginary friend, has to help Max, who's the boy, kind of, overcome the difficulties that he has. There are some really very sad parts of this, and there are also some very heartwarming parts throughout. I just absolutely loved it. I definitely gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. I would recommend it to anybody who likes something like sort of magical realism, because it's told from the point of view of the imaginary friend, but also if you like contemporary, because it deals with very pertinent issues that are, you can see in today's society. So yeah, I love this one. Definitely recommend it. 5 out of 5. Next up, I read Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour. I was really looking forward to this one because I've heard a lot of really great things about it, and I did really enjoy it. The story is about a girl whose brother gives her his apartment in Hollywood, and she sort of goes on this journey trying to figure out the life of this famous movie actor. So it was a really interesting story, nothing I've ever really read before. Very different setting, I would say. I will say, though, that it was really predictable. A lot of the parts in here I really definitely saw them coming, but that doesn't mean that I didn't like them. It was still very enjoyable, maybe a little bit on the young side, but still, it was quite good. I think I gave this either a 3.5 or a 4 out of 5 stars. This book that I read is How I Live Now by Meg Rossoff. I gave this book 2 out of 5 stars. I just didn't like it. I don't know, I didn't know what was going on. I was so very confused about why these kids were abandoned in the middle of wartime, and what war is this, and the relationship in here is creepy, to say the least. It's a short book, and so I flew through it, but I was not happy with it. I don't even know how to, talk about this. It says magical and utterly faultless, and I disagree with that, because I don't know what even happened in this book. It just, I got to the end, and I was like, okay. I'm kind of glad it's over, honestly. So, yeah, sorry. I know a lot of people like this book. It was not my favorite at all. I might be giving this one away. Luckily, I ended the month on a high note because I read The Forgotten Garden by Kate Morton, and I absolutely loved this book so much. It was one of those books where it was so incredibly atmospheric, and I would just love to sit down and get lost in this world, and the writing was so beautiful that it just flowed, and I just enjoyed every second of reading this. It was so good. Kate Morton is such a great storyteller. It's a story about multiple generations of a family and sort of discovering the secrets and the mysteries that happened in the past, along with each woman finding herself at the same time. I'm definitely giving it 5 out of 5 stars. It's a really long book, but I did end up basically flying through it because I just was so intrigued by the story and the twists and turns. I mean, some of them I could see coming, but other ones would just blew me away, and I definitely recommend this one, especially if you like atmospheric reads. You like to just sit down and get lost in this world. This takes place in both in Australia and in London, I guess, in England, different parts of England, and those places specifically are really interesting to me, and I love getting lost in those sorts of worlds. And the garden was just so magical, and the characters felt like they were alive and like they were people who I knew, and I just love it. 5 out of 5. If you haven't read a Kate Morton book, What are you doing? Please go do it. They're so good and you will not regret it. Alright guys, those are the 4 books that I got through in the month of July. I will definitely say that I had a better reading month than I did last month. Not in quantity, but definitely in quality. I read 2 books that I gave 5 out of 5 stars and one that I gave, 3.5 or 4 out of 5 stars. And that is way better than last month because I didn't really love a lot of the books I read. So I think this was a success and I'm very happy with it. If it's not already up, my TBR for August will be up soon. So you should go check that out, see what I'm planning on reading next month. Thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in my next one. Bye!